Hello, welcome to today's collective general reading. As always, remember to use your own discernment, join with intention, and allow the messages to be received with an open heart. A quantum reminder, we are speaking through symbol and story here. Please do not rely on tarot readings for factual evidence. You are always encouraged to do your own research, especially when engaging with strangers on the internet. Okay, we are continuing this message, which is coming from Janice. I'd also pulled this out for their, the page I just opened to, the first word I saw is vibration. It says, so these are the 3 keys to changing your destiny: awareness, choice, vibration. In regard to the act of changing your destiny, the master teacher Jesus once said, "To he who has, it shall be given. To he who has not, it shall be taken away." I'm not here to be speaking on the Bible. This is not in this video. Anyway, what he was alluding to was the universal law of vibration. If you want to unfold something, to experience something in your destiny, you must hold it as a vibration in your own consciousness. You must have the feeling of it in order for it to express itself. If you do not have the feeling or the vibration of it, then it cannot express itself into manifest reality. Okay, so it's just interesting because the card that had come out at the end of the last reading that I took as sort of framing this is vibration. The top here, it says, since nothing is fixed or static, but ever-changing, when you shift your perception to the octave of acceptance and compassion, you move into a higher vibratory field, spiritually speaking, and this will lead you to the higher destiny you seek. The power to change your own destiny is in your hands and no one else's. Okay. Wow, that was lucky happenstance. Thank you, Hathors. So yes, we are definitely, totally, for sure, getting the message about vibration. Again, this started with I believe it's called the Great Year, the full wobble rotation of the Earth that takes just over 25,000 years. This is what dictates the zodiac, to my understanding, but I encourage you to do your own research. What message is coming from Janice? Oh, the message that came through, I had a shower just before this reading and it was coming to me in the shower. Something will appear before you. It's a door, a window, or a portal. It's going to be different for everyone, of course. It will happen at different times, but this is Janice offering unto us a option for, I don't want to say expansion, because I know we're not talking about a literal door that opens at a 90-degree angle. And I know that expansion is more than, but there's something about taking an intentional, divine inspired action, taking that step through the doorway. For some, it will be a door. This is going to be, okay, I think I'm just going to be channeling through Janice. The door is something that seems straightforward. It's something that you've been asking for, manifesting. You have been raising your vibration, and it's coming in due time. It's not something that's been super long term. It's just kind of something that not necessarily falls at your feet or is just plopped onto your plate, but you've been asking for it and it is being delivered to you. And then you get to make the choice of if you want to pursue or not. I am hearing that behind that door is the sun, is fulfillment, is what you want. Getting that the sun being is Leo energy, and that natural leader being magnetic, fiery attraction. And so this door that is appearing in front of you is in alignment with the energy, frequency, vibrations you have been putting out into the world. For some, you are so excited to see this door. For others, you're not sure if you want to walk through the doorway yet. This being the Hierophant, you don't know if you're ready to sit at the fire. And that's fine. Again, everything with Janice is always a choice. Everything is a choice, but you know what I mean. You are the one who will be opening that door. It's not going to creak open for you. You need to make every choice yourself. The Mirror is, okay, the Mirror is speaking to this reflection. It's, okay, it's a few things. It's one, a bit of a warning to the grass being greener on the other side. So being mindful that you're not just looking out, the moon, that you're not just looking out and wishing for something else. I'm seeing this, oh, it was the sun, now it's the moon, okay? I'm seeing this as if you were given the sun, you would be disappointed that it wasn't the moon. If you were given the moon, you would say that's always how it goes. I never get the sun. There's something about you're always going to be, you will always see your own reflection in the mirror. It will always be presented back to you until you learn to look within. But and you know, like the science of it all, if this is a mirror and I'm a face staring at it, I'm going to see through it and see what's outside, but I'm also going to see my reflection pinged back to me. But the message from Janice is a few layers, but this one of the it's never enough is until you learn how to not rely on the mirror to portray your reflection back to you, until you learn how to look from within without having to look outside first, you will always be met with the disappointment of a glare. Now, I'm also getting mirror or window as this 9 of stones, as in this is 9 of Pentacles. You can see what you want. You're looking out into the world. You're not acting yet. You're not looking for a place of entry. You're witnessing. You're in quiet, strategic observance. And so this is using the window for learning how to place the coordinates for the manifestation that you want to come through. And so you may be, I'm getting this is, all of these will be within the next 6 to 8 weeks. And well, there was, okay, I know that there is something closing near the end of March, but again, timelines are always fluid and flux, right? But it's come to that. So I feel that it's decided by near around the beginning of April, but of course with anything there's always like aftershock, right? So it's not like if you don't get it by March 31st, it's not going to happen. And then the portal. And this is I love portals. This would be a bigger message. So this is for people who are already, you can say, invested, involved, expressing, practicing magic of some kind. You're already tuned with the law of attraction and you understand your role in manifesting your reality. You have been intentionally, strategically manifesting now. I'm also hearing that this portal is for the 444 collective. I'm also hearing April 22nd. I don't know if there's anything on the calendar. I can't recall. I'm also getting the sense of spirit being like, you're avoiding the cards in front of you. And I'm like, because there's something else. But perhaps it's because, death. Perhaps it's because all I see are swords. And I'm like, oh, just ignoring the stress of it all. What I see here is the 10 of Spires, kind of upside down diagonal. And this is the first card that I ever rolled over on top of with a computer chair and is permanently dented. And so there's something about the finality of this 10 of Spires, Spires being swords in this deck. It's the end of torturing yourself over this. You're going to decide to do it or you're not, but you're not going to continue spiraling into what could or could not have been. Here we have, oh wow, we have the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and King of Tides is the King of Cups. So what I'm seeing is that, yes, this is a broken fence on a cliff, meaning someone has the impact has already happened. Someone has already gone over or not, right? And this is not literal, no, but something about the damage is already done. The pain has already happened. It's not like you're walking up to this and being like, oh, I want to be careful that that doesn't happen. We are looking out on what has already fallen. Here with these 5 of Spires, I'm seeing it as all of the resources here are used up. Now, the red flag came out in the previous readings about the King of Spires having gotten to that place of accomplishment, but also it was the children were carrying a red flag in the tower. There's something about being really... Wait, no. There's something about learning to discern the signs that are for you. I'm watching Fringe. I'm on season 2, so spoiler. There's an episode where Olivia is working with someone to kind of get her stuff back together after she got shaken up by something. And one day, the person tells her, everyone that she sees wearing red, ask them for their business card. And then he has her lay out all of these business cards, and he said, circle 1 letter in each of their first and last names. And then she did that, and then she had 16 letters, and he said, okay, just play around with those letters, and you've already told yourself the message that you need to hear. And by the end of the episode, she scrambles it, and what it spells out is, you're gonna be fine. And for me, I was like, oh, that's such a good telling of how we can magically play with reality and manifestation. It's like, I'm not telling you to do that exact exercise, although it would be interesting and curious to see what would come from that. It's not, I mean, it is science, but it's not about following an equation. It's not about the scientific procedure. It's about using, it's this purple light, right? It's about using your intuition to structure more magic into your daily life. And we can talk about non-duality and there not being a difference between your spiritual life and your daily life, and the fact that your breathing is in and of itself a spiritual experience. But all I mean to say is, perhaps you are someone who is new to engaging with spirituality outside of your home or place of worship, or away from your altar, in public around other people. I'm not saying that you need to be having these conversations with others, but maybe there's something that you can play around with how you want to engage with the world, and then go out and do that one day. Like an example for me, I'll use, because I live by the ocean, is on the way from here to reaching the ocean, taking a picture of every time I see something that is the same color blue as the ocean that I'm heading to. And then by the time I get through all that and I get my pictures, I can look back to them. And that for me is also a memory of the day. This is also how I love talking about coordination. This may be random to others, but I remember my intentions as I was working through this process on this one day. And so perhaps there's a question that you want to ask yourself. I know that self-reflection had come up in the previous reading, and so that being a part of what this is wanting to be used for. So maybe there's a question that you want an answer for from your spirit guides, from spirit, from the other side or realms, multiverses, higher versions of you, like whatever words you use to describe, right? Ask yourself that. Talk about that. I have a journal app on my phone that I love because it's separate from my notes app. And so this is only where I put things that are messages that come through that feel like downloads or channels, something that is clicking all at once, divine inspiration. I get to put all of that in its own little place. And sometimes when I do that, I'll also put all of these random photos of that time or that kind of happened in the phase of thinking about this and looking for this answer. And so what you're going to be doing is essentially collaging meaning into your life. Yeah. Very cool. And so with this being, oh, the blue. That's lovely. That's very lovely. I'm also recognizing that we have the King of Tides here, because this ability to be weaving magic throughout your everyday is, one, empowering, right? But it's you being in control of your own magical journey. You are always in control of your own life, even if there are things that are out of your control. And so perhaps this is a creative experience for you, you know? So decide the question that you have in mind. Tell yourself what it is you're going to be looking for. Tell yourself how you're going to capture that. Will you take pictures? Maybe you're artistic visually, so maybe you want to sketch something. Maybe you want to have like a little notebook in your bag or your coat pocket, and so you jot the ideas down analog instead of putting it into your phone. Finding the ritual in the everyday, because when we make our lives more magical, this raises our vibration. This ability to create these connections and blessings is what's coming to me. These blessings with the divine Mother Earth, with life around us. That's where magic comes in. It's not waiting for someone else to bring it to us. We introduce it to ourselves. Okay. Awesome message. I love that. If this resonated with you, if you found any of this interesting, you can like this video, comment down below, subscribe to hear from me more often. In the description, you will find a link to the Substack, which hosts the 444 Collective, a virtual ecosystem operating as a place to gather and explore together. Stay tuned.